Hi Cancer, this is going to be your Sun, Moon, and Rising video for May 2025. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you can do so by going to the website right there, HiddenLotusTarot.com, and fill out the booking form with all the information, and I will get right back to you. The thing about getting a reading from me is I don't make people wait. My turnaround time is 48 to 72 hours. I'm behind in the reading, so I'm going to get straight into it. We have with me today the Radiant White deck, the La Vida Sibila for clarification should we need. And I'm going to either be pulling two cards, either our Psychic Oracle Tarot or one of the Golden Nostradamus Oracle cards. Okay, let me turn the camera around so we can get started. I have done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph, but I'm gonna do this again. I always like you to see, for you to see me do the cards in front of you. None of that one card stuff. Although that may be quicker. Okay, this is going to be a 9-card spread. Let's get the deck. Here we go. The Queen of Swords. The Seven of Swords. The Ten of Swords. That's quite striking. Next row, the Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Chariot card. There's your card, Cancer. Last row, the Knight of Wands, the Four of Wands, finally, the Lovers. What is over the entire reading? The Fool card. Let's take a look. There's definite movement here in the spread. You have the Ten of Swords, the Chariot card, the Knight of Wands, that all imply movement. Even the Fool card implies movement. So, I have 3 Swords cards, 1 Pentacle, 1 Cup, 2 Wands, with 2 major arcana. The swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. Coins represent either finances or the doing of something. Coins represent the emotional quotient, how you feel about a situation. And the wands represent your passion, focus, desire, and determination. I think I don't know if I said the major arcana represent your spiritual lessons. So everything else is on a mundane level. And right in the center, we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is about feeling content with what you have. But a fourth thing will be offered to you. But you don't know how to feel about it. You have some skepticism. Or you may be bored. You may not be excited. And you know, in order to do anything new, we have to be excited about the prospect of it. So the card counsels for you to not turn away a potential cup of happiness. So you have to think carefully about what's going to happen. A 4 represents a stable foundation. So you're satisfied with what you have right now, but a 4 thing will be offered to you. The cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future, interplay of the cards. At the top we have the Queen of Swords. She can be a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. But I think in this instance, she represents someone who is strategic in her thinking, requires truth, can be, she gets a bad rap. Most of the time, she's considered a mean and spiteful woman. The legend is that she is a divorced woman and therefore she is bitter. I don't buy that. I think that the Queen of Swords has seen some pain and some things in her life, but you can't, I don't think you're able to tell her any different. She bases her thoughts and reason upon what has been proven to her. Okay? So as a profession, she can be a lawyer, a counselor, an arbitrator, a surgeon, an oral surgeon, a policeman, a soldier, a researcher, an editor, a writer, anywhere where any job that requires keen intellect or sharp tools to get the job done. And she's holding in effect the Ace of Swords. But next to her, we have the Seven of Swords. And they're coming towards her. I think this is 7 is looking back at the 10, and he's looking over his shoulder, but he's moving in the direction of the Queen. So the 7 of Swords, it's a 7, and 7s always represent a moment of pause and reflection. And to think about what you are doing or what's happening right now. And I feel that there was some kind of conflict previously because he is holding 5 swords. So I think some kind of conflict is coming. Argument, disagreement, postponement, I don't know. But whoever the person is has second thoughts, I think. Because the 2 of Swords, they're at rest in the ground. Some people say this card represents play. Not play. It represents stealing in broad daylight. Because in the background, you see a whole bunch of people sitting at a table. So things are being stolen. It can represent lies, gossip, bad-mouthing you. It can represent people trying to destroy your reputation. But it's not spying. It's not just those things, but it can also represent a time when you are not focused on what's happening. You are too distracted. I think somebody's coming to tell you something that you're not going to be happy with. Because they have, in effect, in the past, they have been, what's the word? They have had something happen to them that felt like an overkill. You don't need 10 swords to kill a person. You need only one well-placed sword. So this can be an ambush. It can be an attack. It can be mostly, this is going to happen perhaps because of friends or people that you know. But it also implies that the crisis point has been reached. And the worst thing that has happened already. It also implies that there could be travel over water, around water, near water. This will be a long-term journey. But the energy is definitely moving this way. So I want to say, prepare yourself. The Ace of Coins is an ace. All aces are related to the magician. So this is about some new kind of opportunity being presented to you, either financially or a way of doing something different. And I think here the queen is saying she is going to either do something different or she's going to offer to do something different on the past row. It's an opportunity to take a different path. See the path right there? But then we come to the Chariot card, which is another 7. It's always important when numbers repeat themselves. And so you look at the Chariot and you think, how am I going to drive that thing? He doesn't even have any reins. But you are you are counseled to, if you can control your emotions, you can definitely get to where you want to go. It's a Cancer card. And the Moon. The Moon is all about security, about home, hearth, people you love, safety, emotions. It's a water card. Maybe what I feel is that something is going to come, or someone is going to come and they're going to try to upset the balance of your life. But in order to work through it, you need to balance your emotions. Don't become scattered and argue and have disagreements. If there's postponements happening, don't be upset about it, because I think it's going to turn around in quick time. Here is a Knight of Wands. And Knights to me always represent messages, but it's also an event. And the event sometimes precedes a message, or the message precedes the event. But either way, the Knight is here to make the situation move along. It could also be about somebody returning. But he comes very recklessly. He kind of charges into the scene full of emotion and feeling discombobulated. But it's interesting to me because in the row here I have a representation of the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. It's 4 aces in a way. So that means expect everything to change on a mundane level. The 4 of Wands represents, I have 2 4s, so I'll tell you what that means in a minute. But 4 again represents a stable foundation. And this card says that you are to do what you love and love what you do. It also says that you should celebrate any kind of achievement that you have gained. It also says maybe a relationship will be taken to a deeper level of commitment than you thought possible. But this relationship may not be about love. It could be about business, a partnership. Because it ends with the Lover's card. And the Lover's card a lot of times is spoken of as like soulmate relationships. I want to tell you that soulmate relationships can sometimes be the hardest relationship you have ever had to experience in your life. Because the person shows up as a mirror. He tells you what you're lacking in yourself, what you need to work on. Point out your weaknesses if it's a bad relationship. Sometimes people can get together and they never have an argument. So yes, it can be one of those type of relationships, but it can also be the worst relationship you ever had in your life, a challenging relationship. But to me, what the card really stands for It's a choice. What do you want for yourself? How are you going to plan on achieving it? And remember, once you make one decision, that door closes and a different door opens. So you can never go back. That's why the card counsels you to be careful. Make sure that the choice you make will be the correct one, because it will have far-reaching consequences. And then we come to the Fool. The Fool is all about maybe taking a new adventure in life, taking a trip, experiencing new things, but it can also be don't be foolish and fall for everything. That's why the dog is warning him. You're about to step off a cliff. Where are you going to land? He's looking up at the sun. He's not even watching where he's going. So, 2 7s stand for false friends. And 2 4s tell you that everything is stable. So I'm looking here. I think that there will be some kind of travel where you have to be going one way, but then you're going to turn around and go a different way. Maybe there was some kind of argument or ambush or fight or dispute, and someone offers you a chance to do over, but you have to make the right choice. It's like you're being offered an apology, but you're not sure if you should accept it. So this card becomes very important, I think, in the long run. So let me look at what I have. If there are the messages with the, I can't look at this card and this card because traditionally they represent people. But I can look at the 7, the 10 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. What's interesting to me is that there's only one cup. So I don't know how your emotions are going to play into this, but I can say that you should control the best that you can. You can control your emotions. By controlling your emotions, you're able to not allow people to come in and take advantage of you, but you're also able to think clearly. Let's start with the 7 of Swords. With the Fool card, it may be indicating that you are currently acting too flippantly and inconsistently. There may be a need to be more positive and stable. I just think this is somebody else, though. I don't think it's you, Cancer. I think there's someone coming back and behaving in such a way that it throws everything, the equilibrium, off balance. The 10 of Swords. It doesn't tell me anything. The Ace of Pentacles. It tells me nothing. Oh, I wanted to tell you that 6s are a number of love, balance, and harmony. Remember, I get this feeling that there's going to be some type of upset to the balance of things. The 4 of Cups. And finally, nothing. And finally, the 4 of Wands. tells me nothing. I don't know what this Ten of Swords is all about. It doesn't have to be anything bad. But I just think somebody is going to return. And they're going to have like a story to tell. And they want you to feel, I think, all sorry for them. They can't control their emotions. And so you're going to have to decide what to do about the situation. Let's pull a Second Oracle Tarot. I'm not going to pull any Sabilas on this, because I think it's quite clear. Even the Fool returning says somebody is going to return. You have, and I think what you are doing is you welcome the person back, but you don't believe what he's going to have to say. You don't believe the person. It could be a woman or it could be a male, a man. This just implies that somebody is going to return. And the card you got was Wisdom. It's a major arcana card. It represents the Hierophant. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This card illustrates that there's a spiritual teacher who's about to influence you or step into your life to impart his or her wisdom. Look around. Is there someone in your life who has the acumen, education, knowledge, and ability to integrate spirituality and its laws into the constraints of the physical world? This could be a passionate person who offers guidance and inspiration and reminds you that you are so much more than a physical being. You're also a spiritual being with unlimited potential. You may have drawn this card as a confirmation that it's time to reach out and find an organization or group of like-minded souls. Being part of a group where you can be yourself, share your thoughts, and get valuable feedback can infuse you and encourage you to be all that you can be. Kindred support helps you live your life to your highest ideals, finding the true inspiration and enlightenment that's part of your soul. Over time, the student then often becomes a teacher, so don't be surprised when others seek you out and find you. The card of wisdom. The card of wisdom is letting you know that you have much to share, whether you realize it or not. I think you're going to have to make a choice about something. And so that's what I have for you, Cancer, for May 2025. I hope that made sense. There we go. So good luck.